Yeah. Gotta pour up some tea, you know? Goddamn. Peace, love, knowledge, and protection in you and yours. This is Takal Bay from Temple Alchemy, and today I want to talk about food. I want to talk about health. I want to talk about the things that will nourish your mind, body, and spirit. But I don't necessarily know what those things are because you and me are two completely different people. And that's what I want to talk about today. What works for you? In this age of all these social media doctors, health gurus, health activists, food police, everyone has access to a phone and high quality content. And just because it looks pretty, just because it sounds pretty, doesn't mean it's always for you. And even if the message resonates, I want you to do something. You need to stop and you need to ask yourself, what works for me? What works for you? What really works for you? You have to be a sort of a scientist because people want to come forward and say, don't drink herbs, don't eat fruit, only eat meat, don't eat meat, meat's not good for you, don't eat nuts, don't eat this, don't eat that, all this rubbish, all right? I don't know you. I can't tell you what works for you. I don't know your blood type. I don't know your location. I don't know your resources. I don't know your current nutrient balance. I don't know your current hormone balance. Therefore, I cannot truly tell you what works for you. How's your digestive system working? Are you going to the bathroom regularly? Are you eating first thing when you get up in the morning? Are you drinking herbal teas? Are you making smoothies? Are you eating red meat? I don't know none of these things about you, so I can't make a video and come on here and post it on Instagram and TikTok and say, yo, everybody stop doing this. This is no good for you. This doesn't work for you. We can't do these things. We got to slow down with these things. And I feel like it's okay for people to come forward with information and say, hey, this worked for me. This healed me. But to proclaim to the world that such and such is not good for you, I don't believe these should be universal statements. All right. If you're already skeptical about certain foods, if you're already skeptical about certain fruits, vegetables, whatever it may be, learn to experiment on yourself. Learn to test things on yourself. You should know how things feel within the first 30 minutes of consuming it. And if you don't know, you should learn how to feel out how certain things feel inside of you after ingesting it. Learn to be a food scientist. Learn to test nutrients on yourself. Learn to test herbs on yourself. People can drink things and smell things and know right away that, this isn't for me. I don't want it in my body, and that's cool. I heard someone say one time it takes at least 3 tries of anything for your taste buds to get used to it, so keep that in consideration. But if it really doesn't resonate, then don't eat it. Sometimes I can hold things and just the feel of it and the vibration of it, I know it doesn't belong in my body, so I don't put it in my body. Sometimes I need to test things, and I learned the hard way. Foods aren't going to kill you. I realize this. I went from a carnivore diet. I started in a strict bodybuilding carnivore diet, 6 meals of meat a day to gain as much muscle as possible. It worked. It did work visually. My physique changed, but at the end of the day, I got very sick because it wasn't a well-balanced diet for myself. And I've seen others do the same thing. They eat nothing but meat all the time and they develop candida. They lose their energy. They get tired. But I hear other people, on the other hand, preach about eating meat and how it's so good for them, and breakfast, lunch, dinner, steak and eggs, all kinds of meat. All right. That works for them and their blood type and their lineage and their location right now. Me, I need some tea. I need some fruits. I need some salad. I learned I may need some eggs. I learned the hard way. I've been enjoying a plant-based diet for the last 10 years, and on the 10th year, my body said, hey, we need something more. I don't feel the same as I did the first 4 or 5 years. I'm not digesting the same. My bones and joints don't feel the same, so add something else. Look into other things. Experiment a little bit. See how you feel. What makes you feel good? Because what fills my cup and what makes me good and what makes me feel high in this life can make the next person really sick. And you got to keep that into consideration. So when you listen to these health gurus say, hey, you need to cut this completely out your diet, take time, maybe take 4 or 5 days. If it truly resonates with you, that message that they're delivering, take 4 or 5 days, 6, 7 days, a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month. Cut out whatever they're suggesting, add whatever they're suggesting, and see how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Write down how you feel, analyze yourself, and see if you're willing to cut these out of your life or moderate these things in your life. Maybe you don't need these things as much as you thought you did. Maybe it's not a daily practice. Maybe it's an annual practice. Maybe it's a seasonal practice. Take time to analyze yourself, because no one's gonna tell you how you feel on the inside based on what you consume. That's up to you to determine for yourself. So really take time to sit down with things, analyze things, what works for your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, because I have no knowledge of that, and these doctors have no knowledge of that. And look at all the things doctors have told people before. You're never going to walk again. And within a couple of months, that person's walking because of the sheer willpower. So don't listen to someone when they say this food isn't good for you, these practices aren't good for you. You got to sit down with yourself at the end of the day and say, hey, does this work for me? Does this feel good? Does this motivate me? Does this uplift me? These things are important. Knowledge of self. Learn yourself. Know thyself. You need to know yourself because it's you walking with you at the end of the day. So that's just a quick little message for today. I really want people to take a break from listening to all these doctors, because literally you can go from one doctor to the next doctor to the next doctor to the next health gurus, and they'll all tell you conflicting ideologies, and that's cool. It worked for them. But now it's time to put these things into action and find what works for you. Don't demonize things because someone said it's not right for you. Don't outcast things out of your life because someone says it's not good for you. You need to feel these things out. You need to moderate things. You need to take time spiritually to sit with these things and see if it resonates with your being, your core, your cells, your blood, your heart. You got to take time, all right? Learn thyself, know thyself. Peace, love, knowledge, and protection to you and yours. Listen to Cal Bay, and I'm out.